Look, Dan Campbell is not afraid to go for it on fourth down, but what we aren't used to seeing is the fact that the Lions were 0 for every single time, 0 for 5. What happened there?
Well, I think Dan Campbell probably needed to, take the conditions into consideration, take into consideration, how his offense was playing, what the flow of the game was going to be, because, they kept putting their defense in a bad spot. And while the defense played well, there just were too many times where, the aggressiveness, cost them. Fake punt after they failed on the first one, then they went for it on 4th and 1, pressured down near the goal line. We saw that one. Brock Wright was open. And then early in the game, just, missed throws, that Jared Goff wasn't able to hit. And I think in part because of the wind, because they weren't, able to pass the ball, either team, accurately down the field. And so I think sometimes when the aggressiveness works out, you want to stick with it. But in the environment tonight, it didn't seem like it was a good idea for the Lions.
Now, for Philly, obviously, the goal is to always win, and they win again. But it's back-to-back low-scoring games for this Eagles offense. And I know we're a little far away from the playoffs, but if you're a fan of this team, you're like, when are we going to get a more efficient offense to give us a better chance to win every game? What concern do you have with that Philly offense?
Yeah. Well, if you're a fan or a receiver, Michael, maybe, depending.
Okay.
I think they're both having similar complaints right now. Look, I think, they're a run-first team, and they have not been running the ball, that well. They had some injuries. Lane Johnson, obviously, came out of the game tonight, and so that will have an impact on it. I do think the conditions tonight impacted the passing game. I think going against a really good defense impacted the way, the offense was able to play. But I do think this. They've been a little bit hesitant to run Jalen Hurts in the regular season. And I think that's a good plan. You don't need him to take a ton of hits if you're able to win games without running him. I would think that when you get into the postseason, we're going to see, a lot more design runs for Jalen Hurts, because it gives you a number advantage, in the run game. It makes Saquon harder to defend when you've got to deal with Hurts coming out the other side. And it also helps your passing game. So I'm not overly concerned right now, because I do think there are things that they will do when it matters more later in the season.